At 11 AM on Sunday, peace activists returned from the Middle East to London Heathrow, having been aboard the Gaza Freedom Flotilla, having witnessed Israel's nighttime military assault. This is Osama Kashu, an award-winning documentary filmmaker.
And one day, I can promise you that we will celebrate the march which is going to end the new state of apartheid, the new slavery, the new injustice. This mission was dedicated to everybody in the world, not just for the Palestinians in Gaza, for all those who are suffering injustice and inhumanity. And we couldn't afford to sit down silent in our houses. And what happened basically is an international crime in international water. We were kidnapped, we were rained with live ammunition. It's my friend who was shot right in the heart, that's his wallet, and we lost 10 people on that ship, 39 people who were shot directly on their upper body. I think international community shouldn't be silenced anymore. They should stand all together and should say to Israel clear and loud, we are not going to let you do this anymore. We are not going to be silenced. We are not going to sit down watching you on television, because if we watched Hitler doing the Holocaust, we would have interfered earlier. We couldn't afford, we can't afford to see another Holocaust being committed live on TV. We must do something. And I can tell you, there is a 62 ship being organized now, and they will be going to Gaza. They will be going to Gaza. And also, I think we have the right to call for an international convoy, the NATO, to scorch us, because there is pirates in the Mediterranean. And there is killers. And we must be protected. And also for the British government, we really felt alone, the British citizens. We felt so lonely because the British Foreign Office didn't care about us. Didn't issue a statement. We were crying for help. We were crying in the Israeli airport, in the Israeli jail, in the Israeli port. We didn't hear a word from the British Foreign Office. Shame on you, British Foreign Office. They took the British passports and they throw it in the water. They throw the British passport in the water, and they stole 3 passports that we don't know where they are. I think they should be held accounted for what they've done. And with all of you, we are getting strength from all of you guys. Let us get this mission not to die. Let us keep the momentum, and let us all together go and recruit more. Speak to your family, speak to your friends. Let us go back to Palestine. Let us go back to Haiti. Let us go back to all these areas which are suffering global injustice all over the world. Free, free! Palestine! 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 Free, free!
I don't think any one of us foresaw the amount of blood that was going to be spilled. And I mean, an analogy that one of us came up with kind of by mistake was when he saw a soldier slipping over on some blood on the decks. And this is what we think Israel is doing now. They've spilled so much blood that they're just going to slip over on it, and the world can see that.
A lot has been said in the media, but the main emphasis was to deliver aid. The only things that were on that ship were wheelchairs, medical aid, food. That's all that was on the ship. I'm sure the Israelis are not going to find no weapons on there, because there was no weapons on there. Yeah, that's all I can say really. It's good to be home.
He's a hero. He's a hero. They're all heroes. What they've done is they're heroes.
It's beautiful to be back home. It's really beautiful to be greeted with all this love and energy, and I think what we've done was a fraction of what we should do, all of us together.
And as a final note, we've heard about the experiences that happened on the ship. Do you feel that it was worth it? Do you feel that you were right to go?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't think about it at the time. I will go next time, and the next time, and the next time, and the next time. I mean, what we're going for is stronger than what will hold us back, and for that I think I would will go, yes, I will not, hesitate not going.
And what do you think of the support here today?
This is what makes us go, and the need in Gaza what makes us go. So there is two ways mission that we've been doing. People, energy and love which send us, and people in Gaza who are waiting there. And I think people are recruiting, people are really feeling the humanity, and this is what really matters. We had a bloodbath in that shape. We had a massacre, and we were completely isolated and lonely. And by miracle we managed to flip the frequency and broadcast on a different frequency. They didn't talk. But look, I'll show you something. I'll show you something. Look what they've done. Every single chip was twisted. Every mobile phone was thrown in the sea. Every camera was thrown in the sea. They confiscated all the tapes. They didn't want to see what they've done inside the ship. They didn't want anybody to see what they've done to the ship. Yes, but we had another plan. We had a secondary plan which, thank God, worked. And we didn't know that people were watching, to be honest with you. We thought that we were isolated because they blocked the internal screen. We didn't know that we are broadcasting. But thank God that everybody in the whole world watched what they're doing. And that's what they've been doing in Palestine on a daily basis. And in all their ugly missions, in ugly illegal missions. That's what they've been doing under the night, in the darkness, so nobody see. This is a friend of mine, Akram, who was shot. This bullet was in his pocket, like here. He just was sleeping when he was shot from the helicopters. The bullet went straight from here into his heart. Another friend of mine who was just basically taking a picture. He's a journalist. He was shot here. His brain fall in my hands. I had his white brain in my hands. I mean, they've done nothing. We were just like, we were not prepared for what they've done. For what they've done. And to be honest with you, if we want to kill Israeli soldiers, we would have killed them because they were between us. But we had a commitment that we're not going to use violence. We took the soldiers, we disarmed them, and we sent them back to the Israeli soldiers. And they shot the doctors who took them back to them. So we got Israeli soldiers, 5 of them. We disarmed them, took them back to the Israeli soldiers,
I hope
and they shot them.
will show this. I hope.
I mean, and they had 3 cameras, 3 Israeli cameras, and they were doing that film, and they doing their version of editing. One of the soldiers' gun was missing on the floor. The soldiers picked it and put it in a bag, called the cameras. I was witness because I was using it as a human shield to open small cabinets and to be, to lead the soldiers. He picked up the gun, he put it inside the bag, and then he called the camera, and on camera he opened the bag and he took the gun in front of the soldiers. It's just shame.
And as a very final note, I mean, what do you say to reports that, obviously the Israelis are saying that there were knives on board, you were armed, that sort of thing. What would you say to that?
I told you, they just picked up the gun, their own gun, which were disarmed from their own soldier, put it in the bag, one only pistol, and then they have kitchen knife. We have 600 people on board. Obviously we have kitchen knives, we have chairs. If they call that a gun, it's a legitimate self-defense what we've done. It's a legitimate self-defense. One of the soldiers landed on my head and he was shooting. He circulated me by bullets. What would you do if you were in my position? I was catching his hands, trying to get him to shoot in the air instead of shooting at me. If that's an attack, call it an attack. But for me it was a self-defense. Otherwise I wouldn't be here talking to you. I'd have been dead.
What are you going to do now that you're back?
Thank you very much.
What are you going to do now that you're back?
We're going to recruit more. We're taking 62 ships to Gaza at some point. We're going to keep pushing. We must get the international community to move. We must end the siege, the illegal siege in Gaza. We must celebrate democracy, and we must let our own democracy be celebrated all over the world. And let us break our own siege first. Our own siege is the most important siege that we need to break, and then we can go to Gaza. And it's a very symbolic piece of land in the whole universe, and it's a very symbolic mission that we should all do, breaking the siege of an isolated civilian community who are living with nothing but hope that we will interfere. So we're not going to let them down. I think we should go and help them. They need us. They really need every one of us. We shouldn't sit in our homes, look at our screens and do nothing. We must go. We must sail out. We must come to the street. We must let Israel hear us, because Israel are basically throwing every single comment in the sea.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Like, I'm in pain. I'm bruised all over.
Sorry.
I'm really no, but I can't feel it now.
Someone don't stand on this foot.
It's great.
They're heroes.
Please, guys.
They've broken the siege in people's minds.
We need to break
all around the world.
Yes. I'm glad to see the blood of the martyrs didn't go wasted. I'm really glad that people who paid by their blood, I'm sure they'll be like celebrating in joy in heaven. Allah yarhamak ya Jabal.
Remember the martyrs.
Yeah.